Today we're going to cover how to take an equation of the circle in non-standard form and put it into standard form using the completing the square method. What you see right now on this screen is the equation of a circle, but it is not in standard form. Standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where hk is your center and r stands for the radius. Now, by using completing the square method, you can get a non-standard equation of a square into this form. What you do first is you get all of your variables on one side of the equal sign, and you get all of your constants on the other. Once that is done, you group together your common variables. So I'm going to group together the x squared minus 6x. And I'm going to put a plus because I need to complete the square, and leave a blank and close my parentheses. Then put a plus sign, open my parentheses, and I put the y variables in this set. Y squared plus 4y plus, and leave a blank and close your parentheses, and it still equals my constant of 12. Okay? Now, to complete the square, it's a very simple process. You look at just the number of the second term and you think, what number plus itself would give you this number? For instance, on my x variables, I have 6. What number plus itself would give me 6? Well, that's easy. That's 3. Okay? So then you take that 3 and you square it, and you put that as your third term in your trinomial. Now, I've added 9 onto this equation, onto the left side. Well, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other, so I need to come over by the 12 and put plus 9. You repeat the process with your y variables. So I look at the 4, and I go, what number plus itself gives me 4? That's 2. So I square it and plug it in as my third term of my trinomial, so 4. Now, because I added 4 here, I must add 4 to the right side of my equation also. Okay? Now, I can take this trinomial and I can factor it down to x. Now, to figure out what goes in between the x and the square root of 9 is 3. So you take the square root of first term, square root of that third term, put it in here. To figure out the sign in the middle, you simply take the sign of the middle term and plug it in. And put your squared on the top. So you do the same thing with the y. Square root of y squared is y. Square root of 4 is 2. I look at the sign, plug it in, hit the plus, and square it. And set it equal to, I must add these up. 12 plus 9 plus 4 gives me 25. Now, from there, I can find my center of this circle, and I can find the radius of this circle, which means I could then graph it. The center of my circle would be 3, negative 2, and the radius would be 5. So there you have it. That's completing the square to get the equation of a circle in standard form, in center radius form, and find the equation by completing the square. Let's try one more just to make sure you got it. Okay? Now look at this problem. On this problem, it's a little more difficult because not all of your variables are on the same side. So the first thing we must do is we must move our variables to the same side and put the like variables together. So I'm going to start with x squared. When I move the minus 12x over, it becomes plus 12x. plus my y squared. Move the 2y over, it becomes minus 2y equals 27. Okay. Now that I've got all my variables on the left, and I've got my constant on the right, I can group and start completing the squares. X squared plus 12x plus blank, close parentheses, plus, open parentheses, y squared minus 2y plus blank equals 27. Now I have two pluses, so I know I'm going to be adding two numbers to my right hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pluses there. Alright, so let's think. What plus itself is 12? 6. So 6 squared is 36. So I must add 36 to the right. Now let's do it with my y's. What plus itself is 2? That's easy. 1. Square the 1, it's still 1. So I need to add 1. Okay. So let's think. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 36 is 6. The sign in the front was a plus. So I write x plus 6 squared. Now square root of y squared is y. Square root of 1 is 1. The middle term is a minus sign. So I put a minus and I square that binomial. And I set it equal to 27 plus 36 plus 1, which is 64. And now it's in center radius form. I can give my center of negative 6, 1, and my radius of 8. Okay, that's completing the square to get the equation of a circle in standard form. I hope this helped. Come see me if you need more help during my tutoring times.